The row stitch appears to be very similar to the seed stitch, but what makes it special and more interesting is that it introduces knitting through the back loop, which tightens up the fabric, but it also creates a very different structure on the back of the fabric. So you have one pattern on one side and a uniquely different pattern on the opposite side. And here's how it's done. The stitch multiple for the row stitch is 2 plus 1, so cast on an odd number of stitches. And the row repeat is 4 rows. And the first row starts with a purl, and then a knit. And you just continue with that repeat, purl, knit, purl, knit, to the end of your row. The second row of this pattern introduces knitting through the back of the stitch. So what we'll do in the first stitch is knit it, then we'll put the needle through the back of the next stitch and then knit that stitch. Now we knit the next stitch, then we knit through the back of the loop. Knit the next stitch, knit through the back of the loop, and continue that pattern to the end of the row. The third row is worked like the first, a combination of purl and knit stitches. But in this case, we're going to start with the knit. Then we'll bring the yarn to the front and purl. And then again, knit, and then purl. And just continue with that combination to the end of the row. The fourth row in this 4-row pattern is a combination of knit 1 and then knit 1 through the back loop. So it's like the second row, but the sequence is reversed, starting with a knit 1 and then putting the needle through the back of the stitch, knitting through the back, then knit 1, then knit through the back, knit 1, and repeat that combination till you get to the end of the row. Here's something that may help you when you're working this pattern across a long row. The knit purl rows, the first and the third row, are both worked on one side, while the knit and knit through the back loop stitch combination, the third and the fourth row, are worked on the same side. And as you're working, take note that the twisted stitch or the knit through the back loop stitch always appears directly above a purl stitch on this side. I hope that proves helpful. And there you have the rose stitch. I'm James Cox, and I can't stop knitting.